Tom Oar is one of those rare people who live life by their own rules. For years, he became a household name thanks to the television show Mountain Men, where he lived a simple yet powerful life in the wilderness of Montana. Viewers admired his calm attitude, survival skills, and ability to stay close to nature while the rest of the world kept chasing technology. But behind the strong smile and the calm voice was a man who had lived through tough times, dangerous experiences, and deep emotional challenges. Tom Oar was not just a TV personality, he was a true mountain man, someone who proved that simplicity, courage, and hard work could still define a person's life. Many fans were drawn to his personality because he represented a disappearing world, a world where men still relied on their own hands, knowledge, and instincts to survive. As time went on, fans started wondering what kept Tom going in such a harsh lifestyle. And when rumors about his health and retirement started spreading, everyone wanted to know the truth. Long before he became famous, Tom Oar was just a young man who loved adventure and nature. He was born in Illinois in 1943 and grew up surrounded by the outdoors. His father was a hard-working man who inspired him to face life with strength and patience. As a child, Tom learned how to hunt, fish, and explore the wilderness. He wasn't the kind of person who liked sitting still or following a normal path. His heart always searched for freedom and challenge. That desire for adventure eventually led him to the world of rodeo, one of the most dangerous sports in America. Tom joined the rodeo circuit as a young man and quickly gained a name for himself as a brave bronc rider. Riding wild horses was risky, but Tom loved the rush of danger. He was fearless and determined, even though the sport often left him bruised, injured, or exhausted. His life during those early years was full of excitement, but also pain and uncertainty. One of the turning points in Tom Oar's life came when he had a terrible accident during a rodeo event. He was thrown off a wild horse and suffered serious injuries that nearly ended his life. That accident was a wake-up call. It made him realize how fragile life could be and how quickly everything could change. After that, Tom started thinking deeply about what he really wanted from life. He no longer wanted fame or competition. He wanted peace, connection with nature, and freedom from the noise of the modern world. It was during this period that Tom met his wife Nancy, who shared his love for the outdoors and his simple way of living. Together, they decided to leave the busy world behind and move to Montana, one of the wildest and most beautiful places in the United States. This decision would change their lives forever. When Tom and Nancy moved to Montana, it was not an easy start. They settled near the Yock River, a remote and rugged part of the state. There were no big stores, no easy roads, and no neighbors nearby. Winters were cold and long, and survival meant hard work every single day. But Tom loved the challenge. He built his own cabin, hunted animals for food, and learned how to trap and tan hides. Nancy supported him in every step, helping with the work and keeping their home warm and welcoming. Together, they lived a life most people could only imagine, far away from modern comforts, but full of peace and purpose. Over time, Tom became an expert in tanning animal hides and crafting leather goods, which he sold to earn a living. His skill was admired by many, and he became known as one of the last true traditional craftsmen in America. Tom's life took an unexpected turn when the History Channel discovered his story. In 2012, the show Mountain Men began, and Tom quickly became one of its most loved stars. Viewers were fascinated by his lifestyle, living off the land, making everything by hand, and staying connected to nature while the rest of the world rushed ahead. He wasn't acting for the camera. He was just living his life. That honesty made people respect him even more. Tom's quiet wisdom and hard-working nature reminded viewers of a simpler time when life was about survival, not luxury. His scenes often showed him building traps, preparing for winter, and talking about the challenges of growing old in the wilderness. Fans from all over the world fell in love with him and saw him as a symbol of strength, simplicity, and freedom. The show gave Tom a global audience, but he never let fame change who he was. Even though Tom looked strong on screen, his life in the wild was far from easy. The winters in Montana can be brutal, with temperatures dropping below freezing for months. Trapping and hunting became harder as he grew older. His body, once tough and unstoppable, started to show signs of wear from years of physical labor. He suffered from back pain and health issues that made daily work more difficult. Fans didn't see much of this side of Tom, but behind the scenes, he was struggling to keep up with the demanding lifestyle. Despite these challenges, Tom never complained. He believed that life was about doing your best, no matter how hard things got. His determination to keep living off the land inspired millions of fans, who saw him as proof that human spirit can overcome almost anything. As the years passed, fans began to notice Tom appearing less often in new episodes. Soon, rumors started spreading online. Was Tom Oar sick? Was he retiring? Some even feared the worst. The lack of updates from him made people more anxious. Blogs, forums, and social media pages were full of speculation. Many fans wrote messages of love and prayers for him and Nancy, hoping he was still living happily in Montana. But Tom stayed quiet for a long time. He wasn't someone who liked to speak publicly or clear up rumors quickly. For him, silence and privacy were important. He had spent most of his life away from noise, so dealing with media attention wasn't easy. His fans, however, remained loyal and patient, waiting for answers. After months of silence, the truth finally came out. Tom Oar confirmed that he was indeed stepping away from the show and slowing down in life. He explained that the years of living in the harsh Montana wilderness had taken a toll on his body. At his age, he simply didn't have the same energy to handle the freezing winters and the physical challenges that came with it. Tom said that he and Nancy had moved to Florida to enjoy their later years in peace and warmth. The news broke the hearts of many fans, but it also brought comfort. Tom was alive, safe, and finally taking time to rest. His words showed that even the strongest men must eventually listen to their bodies and let time take its course. He wasn't giving up. He was simply choosing peace after a lifetime of hard work. The announcement caused an emotional wave among his followers. Thousands of fans shared their love and gratitude online, thanking Tom for inspiring them to live simply and bravely. Many people said they started learning outdoor skills or appreciating nature because of him. Others admired his relationship with Nancy, saying their love story showed what true partnership looks like. Social media platforms filled with emotional posts, drawings, and video tributes. For many viewers, Tom was more than a television figure. He was a mentor. A reminder that happiness doesn't come from money or fame, but from doing what you love and staying close to nature. Even though Tom was leaving Mountain Men, his spirit remained a part of the show and in the hearts of his fans. Today, Tom Oar's story continues to inspire people around the world. He has shown that life can be beautiful even when it's hard. His courage, patience, and love for the wilderness have made him a symbol of resilience. Young viewers who watched him on Mountain Men learned that true happiness doesn't depend on gadgets, comfort, or luxury. It comes from self-reliance, hard work, and respect for the earth. Tom's legacy is not about fame or fortune. It's about living with integrity and purpose. He may have retired from television, but his lessons remain timeless. Tom Oar proved that simplicity can be powerful, that peace can be found in nature, and that even in a world full of change, some values never grow old. As Tom and Nancy spend their quiet days in Florida, they enjoy a well-deserved rest after a lifetime of challenges and achievements. They still receive messages and love from fans all around the world, reminding them how much they are appreciated. Tom may no longer trap animals or face freezing winters, but he continues to live with the same strength and gratitude that made him who he is. His story is a reminder that every chapter in life has its time, and when one ends, another begins. The truth about Tom Oar isn't just about his retirement. It's about finding peace after years of hard struggle, about knowing when to slow down, and about understanding that true success is living life on your own terms. Long before Tom Oar became a famous mountain man, his simple childhood shaped the person he would become. He grew up in a small house near Rockford, Illinois, surrounded by open land, trees, and rivers. His family wasn't rich, but they were proud and hard-working. Tom's father, Tom Oar, had a deep respect for nature and taught Tom to value hard work, patience, and honesty. There were no fancy toys or modern comforts back then, The outdoors was his playground. Every day he would explore the woods, go fishing, or help his father with small chores. Those early lessons of survival, discipline, and humility stayed with him for life. They became the roots of his personality, calm, kind, and strong. When other kids dreamed of city life, Tom dreamed of living close to nature, far away from the noise. It was almost as if the wild had already chosen him before he even understood what that meant. As Tom grew older, his love for adventure turned into a passion for rodeo riding. He was fascinated by the bravery of men who faced wild horses and bulls in the arena. By his late teens, he started competing in local events. It was dangerous, but Tom never let fear control him. Rodeo life was rough, constant travel, little money, and high risk. Every fall could mean broken bones or worse. But for Tom, it wasn't about fame or prizes. It was about the thrill, the challenge, and the feeling of being alive. The rodeo gave him discipline and mental toughness, qualities that would later help him survive in the wilderness. He learned how to control fear, how to focus, and how to respect danger. Those years on the rodeo circuit were full of pain and joy. They taught him how to keep going no matter how tough things got. One day, during a competition, Tom's luck ran out. He was thrown violently off a horse, hitting the ground hard. The crowd gasped as he lay motionless for a few seconds. That moment changed everything. He was rushed to the hospital, and doctors told him he was lucky to be alive. It took months for him to recover. During that time, Tom had a lot of time to think about his future. He realized that his body couldn't take much more punishment, and deep inside, he knew there had to be more to life than chasing one dangerous ride after another. This accident didn't break him, it awakened him. It was the moment he began to search for a new way of life, one that would give him peace and purpose instead of pain and risk. During this period of recovery and reflection, Tom met Nancy, a woman who shared his adventurous spirit. Nancy was gentle yet strong, someone who understood Tom's longing for a simpler life. Their love story was built on shared dreams, not material ones, but the dream of living close to nature, working with their hands, and building a life that was truly their own. They married and began planning a future away from the chaos of city life. Tom often said that meeting Nancy was one of the greatest blessings of his life. She stood by him through every struggle, every hard winter, and every moment of doubt. Together, they formed a team that could survive anything, leaving everything behind. Tom and Nancy packed their few belongings and headed to Montana in the 1970s. It was a bold decision, one that most people wouldn't dare make. Montana was wild, cold, and unforgiving, especially in winter. But that was exactly what Tom wanted. A life where survival depended on skill, effort, and willpower. They settled near the Yock River, a remote region surrounded by thick forests and mountains. There were no malls, no restaurants, and sometimes no neighbors for miles. The nearest store was hours away, and winters often trapped them inside their cabin for weeks. But Tom and Nancy adapted quickly. They hunted for food, cut their own firewood, and tanned hides to make clothing and leather products. It was hard, but it was honest living, and they loved every moment of it. What made Tom's life in Montana special was his deep respect for nature. He didn't see the wilderness as an enemy, but as a teacher. He understood the balance of life, that every animal, tree, and river had a purpose.